Well, hey everybody, this is Don and my wife Tina down below me with Wizard Tower Games, and tonight we're going to be doing what um, a really big update. It's actually a pretty massive update. We got a lot of product updates. We're going to talk about a artist that we are having help us. That's pretty well known by probably everybody in the gaming arena around RPGs and old school role playing games. We're going to be talking about WizardCon 2025. We're going to talk about Wizard Tower Publishing. Like I said, lots of projects, lots of stuff. Paul Catrone, how you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. So let's get right back down to it. Um, for me personally, and probably to Tim Kask also, the biggest news of the evening is going to be D20 Delving. D20 Delving is being released. We are going to be starting shipping that here in April, and it'll definitely be at WizardCon. Um, been waiting a long time to get this thing out there. Had a lot of people, standing by us, just being patient, and it's greatly appreciated. So D20 Delving is now officially going to be released. We're probably looking at after spring break, probably mid April, but definitely by WizardCon, because I got some updates about WizardCon involving D20 Delving and Tim Kask later on in the evening here tonight. Terry R, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Um, Along with D20 Delving, I want to talk a little bit about Gangbusters. Gangbusters is a role-playing game that was put out in the early 80s by TSR Hobbies, the original TSR Hobbies. And we have been working with the IP owner, Mark Hunt, on it. And we will be premiering Gangbusters second 2.0, whatever you want to call it, the new edition of it, at WizardCon, which is April 25th, 26th, and 27th. So if you are a Gangbusters fan, a fan of kind of like that pulp fiction, pulp kind of noir, 1930s, 1920s gangland type stuff, then you're really going to be happy. And I am actually writing as part of it a module with a slash set of rules, kind of like a rule setting, module setting, that's going to have a real Peaky Blinders feel to it.
Well,
So
it's going to be right up your wife's alley.
yeah, we love the series, and so I just decided that along with the classic 20s 30s vibe, machine guns and gangs and all that, we're going to be doing a Peaky Blinders kind of version of it. That also it's going to be like a little mini setting in Birmingham and London, England. So Gangbusters 2.0, like I said, is coming out. Um, New bad guys, new classes, a new twist to the game. Me and Mark's been working on it a lot. We've been kind of going back and forth, and yeah. Tom, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in tonight. So, good news for D20 Delving. It's coming out. We're starting shipping, and then Gangbusters also. So, two big games that Wizard Tower Games is working on for a very long time, waiting on for a very long time, and it's going to be released. Real briefly, Pooh, the children's game based on Winnie the Pooh, that is also coming out in April. It's going to be premiered at Wizard Tower, probably available a little bit before WizardCon, but Pooh will be out for those of you who are looking for a game for your little ones. Um, Interstellar, a sci-fi role-playing game that I have been working on for quite a while. We are getting right now. We have main rules set down. It uses the task level system, which is a system that we're going to be using at Wizard Tower Games for all of our role-playing games that are in-house, like Interstellar, Open Worlds, etc. A lot of work's been done on Interstellar, and that is probably going to be coming out sometime in the summer. Shooting for late July, early August. Thaddeus, how you doing tonight? Hope you're having a good evening. So again, we got right off the bat, we have D20 Delving starting shipping here shortly. We got Gangbusters premiering at WizardCon, Pooh's being released, the Winnie the Pooh children's board game, and then Interstellar, the sci-fi role-playing game. A little bit about Interstellar. For those of you who are into science fiction, again, it uses our task level system. It's our in-house system for our RPGs. The really cool thing about the task level system is basically it's a D20. That's it. And with that D20, you can do everything, and you'll determine everything, the results of melee combat, missile combat, magic use, trying to break in a door, try to clear a blocked hallway, try to jump over a pit. The task level system is a really simple system that uses a simple task modifier for you to determine what you need to do the role based upon your skill level in a given task, so to speak. So really cool system. We're going to actually be doing a video on it, or I am, where I'm going to walk you through a scenario using the task level system, both for Interstellar, the sci-fi game, but also for Open Worlds, the fantasy RPG that it's been done. Open Worlds has been done since 2000. I mean, fully done.
Early.
Since about 2012. And that's when the first main book of it was actually printed. So this thing has been being developed for over a decade, and it actually utilizes a system that I developed over time myself before that. So along with that, we got a thing that is going to be my pet project is we're going to be putting out a series of small, almost like a comic book, but it's more like a graphic novel. And it's going to take place with an adventuring party and just their antics and it's not, when I say antics, it's not a comedic type of graphic novel. It is a serious graphic novel. So there's humor in it, but it's more hardcore. It's aimed at more of an adult audience because it does have extreme violence in it. It's a graphic novel. So, it's graphic, but basically kind of like an NC-17, type of graphic novel. So that I'm actually beginning the preliminary artwork for that, and I probably will be done with the initial graphic novel sometime probably early fall. So something later on in the year, but I just decided at my wife's pressing just to start getting back into doing my artwork and such, because I used to do a lot of artwork and drawing and stuff.
Now, does this follow any certain lands or creations of yours?
Yeah, and that's another thing. It takes place in my world setting. I actually have a wiki. If you go to altaverse.com/wiki, it is my own wiki from our world that I've developed over the course of all my gaming life. It's a fully developed campaign setting world, and all of my fantasy novels take place in it. There will be a campaign setting eventually for Open Worlds that will be based on that world setting that I have developed also. So good stuff there. Stars and Sails, which is our backer kit that we did with Paulie Kidd, that funded in 4 days. We are full steam ahead on that. We are going to be just Tabletop Taproom asks, let me pull it up. Got a question. What are you up to this week, Tina?
Well, I'm hoping to be able to see better because these are my old glasses, and my new ones came in today, and she said not to wear them tomorrow. So I'm trying to be able to see so I can get those kids ready for March's reading month, continuing on.
They want you to kind of get used to them, don't they? So they don't want you wearing them. They want, because you're going to get headaches by wearing the new prescription and all that. Probably wait for the weekend, right?
Well, no, she told me to put them on tomorrow morning.
Oh, put them on. Okay.
Yep.
So don't worry, I'm next. I'm the Monday after spring break. I'm getting my scratched up, banged up glasses fixed, or replaced.
Yeah.
But Stars and Sails, we have been going full steam artwork. I want to do a shout out to one of the main artists, Scott Mulder, has been doing a lot of the ship designs. Um, Outstanding guy, outstanding artist. His his take on these ships for uh, Stars and Sails is just so spot on. They kind of got this steampunk, mix of steam boiler balloons and sails. Just it's really really nice artwork. Paulie's very pleased with it. Tina down below has seen
Yeah.
the artwork.
I have.
Real
I can't tell you which one is my favorite because each
Yeah,
ship has something unique I like about the ship. So it's not just one ship. It's like, oh, I like this part of this one and this part
yeah,
of the other one. And so
and
Scott has done some really cool details with
yeah,
those ships.
yep. So again, can't shout out enough to Scott Mulder. He is a hell of an artist. He is a hell of a cool guy, and just really really spot on. Thyatis says, let me pull a note out of the way here. Says, definitely looking forward to seeing some sort of demo with D20 Delving and task level system in the future. Thyatis, hold on, and I'll be talking about a special demo that's going to be done by Tim Kask himself for D20 Delving here in a few minutes. Um, so let's see. We got D20 Delving, we got Stars and Sails. All right. This is something that the next project I want to talk about is something that I was going to put out for me. I was just going to make one, but I
Mm-hmm.
decided why not make more of them? It's something I call a legacy book. What this is a hardcover book, and it's designed for you to take it to conventions, to events, and have your favorite role playing game celebrity sign it. It's going to be preloaded with people. On one side of the page is going to be their name, photograph, and what company they worked with and what they did. Like as an example, Tim Kask is in there, and you'll see Tim Kask, his image, TSR Hobbies, Eldritch Entertainment, and what he did. And on the other side is where you can get their autograph. There's going to be an autograph block, and then some people will do a little doodle, some can do like a personal dedication, and that way you can have a legacy book of all of these well-known people. And then there's also going to be a section in it that's blank, where maybe there's a celebrity that you want to meet that I don't want to meet, or maybe I'm not into that genre or whatnot.
Or
So
they're new and upcoming and we just didn't know about them to put them in the book.
absolutely. So the legacy book is going to be front loaded with people like Tim Kask, Darlene, Jim Wampler, Jeff Easley, Larry Elmore, Diesel, just all these people from you know from the gaming tabletop industry. And then there's also going to be sections in there where you can write their own name for the person you want, like Tina detailed below. So it's just going to be a legacy book. So you can take it around, purchase one, take it around, and have the people that you want sign it. Full color, hardcover, really good quality paper. So something that's designed, like it should be. When you get this thing starting to be filled out and people signing it and doing it, you're going to want to have something really nice to remember people by and remember your memories by with it. And then also, there's a section on the other side of the page too of, where was it signed at? So like if you met them at Gen Con or Total Con or WizardCon or wherever, or at, Barnes and Noble, Chicago, Illinois, and the date. So really cool book. Like I said, a legacy book to kind of get you to, have some memories of people you do. Um, let's see here. We've got a lot to talk about here. So I know what I'll do. I'll talk a little bit about Thyatis' question. D20 Delving in the task level system. So what we'll do is we'll jump a little bit into WizardCon. Um, WizardCon, like I said, we got a ton of notes here because we got a ton of content to talk about. A lot has happened in the last week with WizardCon. we have had a large game company in Michigan. They're a game shop. And what they have done is they have decided that they are coming to WizardCon, and they are going to be running uh, a massive Lorcana tournament. They're going to be running a massive Magic the Gathering tournament and a massive One Piece tournament. Up to 32 players, I believe, and 28 players depending on the game. They're going to run them Saturday, Sunday, or excuse me, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all 3 days of the convention. They're giving away cool prizes. They're really getting involved in the convention, and you know, really, really happy to see them in there. We're going to be posting more information about them tomorrow. Like I said, they have 2 game shops in the state of Michigan, and they really know what they're doing. They're flourishing. So, yeah, Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, One Piece. Joe Block, the Greyhawk Grognard, has signed on. He is running AD&D, of course, his world and setting, Gangbusters 2.0, and now for Tim and D20 Delving. Along with the Tim Kask experience, what you're going to be able to do is Tim Kask is going to be running D20 Delving at WizardCon, demoing it for everybody. You can come in, you can sign up one of Tim's games. It's free, so you don't got to pay for it to play with Tim for D20 Delving. And the whole purpose of it is it's the man's voice. He helped with this thing intimately. We worked together on this. So he's going to be actually running D20 Delving at WizardCon. For those of, so Diatus, you're going to have a chance if you are playing D20, if you want to come to WizardCon. If you can't make it to WizardCon, there's another way what will happen, and that is I'm going to be demoing on video D20 Delving. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a video for the task level system, both using open worlds, the fantasy RPG we're almost done with because we're reformatting new art, tweaking the rules and such. And I'm also going to do another video where we apply D20 Delving to Interstellar, which is the RPG, the sci-fi role-playing game that we're developing. So you'll be able to see the task level system being used both for fantasy and sci-fi. So, and that is actually coming up fairly quickly. We're going to be doing demos probably next week for open worlds, and probably the week after spring break, we're going to be doing Interstellar, the demo. So that's that as far as that goes. We are also having an update on the National Role-Playing Game Museum. There's going to be a demonstration there, or a presentation, excuse me. We've got other events there. We've got D&D. There is a guy that's going to be running Moldov. We've got BECME that's going to be the people running BECME. We have people that are going to be running 5e there. So whatever your flavor of the day for D&D, no problem. Status, appreciate you coming in tonight. So whatever your flavor for D&D is, you're going to be able to play it at WizardCon. You're going to be able to play RPG or CCGs and TCGs at WizardCon. We're going to be having Tina's running, demoing off Pooh. So on Sunday, we're going to have a special kids events that are going to be happening on Sunday. So you can bring your kids there. We're going to be demoing, like I said, Pooh. We have we're going to be doing a auction to raise money for Bronson Children's Hospital. Bronson's Children's Hospital is a large hospital for kids in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they do a lot of good in the community. They have helped thousands of kids with some of the nastiest diseases and injuries that you can find out there. And we just felt that, you know what, you can help kids. The proceeds are going from the auction, and we're also doing a raffle. We're going to be doing one raffle on Friday. We're going to be doing 2 raffles on Sunday. So basically you buy 1 ticket, 10 tickets, 20 tickets, whatever you want, and they're good for all the raffles. If you win, that ticket, of course, gets ripped up. So you can only win once per ticket. But if you buy 5 tickets, you're in for all those raffles. So, and you don't have to be there to win. So if you buy 5 tickets and you can only come Friday, as an example. If your name is drawn on Saturday and you're not there, we're going to have a spot on the back where you put your name and your telephone number. We'll give you a call and we'll arrange to get you your prize. We're going to have a lot of cool prizes. Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland have donated games. We've got games being, we're going to be providing games and product. I am going to be putting up myself a movie prop. It's going to be a custom made Aliens pulse rifle that has been built by me. So you're going to have a chance to win like really cool stuff. We have other creators and stuff that are donating games and game products and such for our raffles and also our auction. And again, proceeds are going to the Bronson Children's Hospital. So a noble cause. So if you come, buy tickets and bid high. You help kids out. So let's see. What do we got here? Oh, Orcs and Ogres. Orcs and Ogres is a children's entry-level role-playing game. Very, very simple system. It's a no-kill system, and it's designed for little kids, like 7, 8, 9 years old, 8, 9 years old, right around there, where basically they can just learn the concepts of a role-playing game. And of course, I have ulterior motives because what are we doing? We're prepping them to play D&D, other role-playing games, Traveler, DCC, GURPS, whatever mom and dad you're into. Orcs and Ogres will be a really good primer to get the kids into understanding the basics of what a role-playing game is. It's age appropriate because the lady below me deals with kids every day. And trust me, we're not going to have other content in there. I'll leave out the other game system, but we're not going to be like another game system that's out there. And then what we are going to go ahead and do is I can talk a little bit about Open World's role-playing game. We recently put to everybody out there on Facebook, what do they think we should do for the Open World's RPG? Should we make it 1 book, 2 books, 3 books? Because there is GM content, players content, and monster content. And after looking at all the comments and after we talked about it a couple weeks ago, we're going to go initially with 2 manuals. We're going to have a player's handbook and we're going to have a game master's book. The GM's guide is going to have GM-oriented content along with the monsters. And the player's handbook is going to have the player content, spells, that type of thing. So we're going with 2 manuals. They are going to be hardcover. They're going to be hardcover, full color. I kind of went into this earlier on a impromptu live on the Vlog of Many Things, but I've been in contact with paper suppliers, and we all know about the Trump tariffs that are taking effect. The paper supplier is not worried about it. The paper pulp forecasts that are put out every 2 months, the next one is coming out March 13th, so day after tomorrow. And right now, paper is at an all-time low when you take in consideration the last 12 calendar months. So it's been steadily dropping. And what we expect to see once the tariffs take effect, or probably on Thursday, and we're going to go more deeper into this in the Vlog of Many Things to follow up from our earlier video today. But there should be a small spike. It depends what and how people feel and how nervous they are. Right now, the stock market's really paper is a commodity. So hard telling, but according to my supplier, the one in China, they can even adjust their end wholesale price to try to help absorb a little bit of it because they don't want people switching away from them to go to other places. And I kind of got the same comment from the Canadian supplier. So either way, I think we might have a slight jump in paper, but it's really just not going to affect, I think, much of a cost. I don't think you're going to see a 25% increase in games. I just don't see it. You might see maybe a 3 or 4, maybe a 5% increase. But when you're talking about a $50 game, what is that? $2.50? if it's 5% higher. Not a big deal. We're going to try to not increase any prices. We're going to try to keep everything at the status quo, because we're just not going to price gouge people. There are companies out there right now already, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's companies out there already, licking their lips, going, now's our chance. We can raise our prices. We can utilize the tariffs as an excuse for it. But we're not going to do that. I don't think that's fair to the people that purchase our products and the people that have kind of been there for us, giving us business. So unless something drastic happens and there's like a massive, massive, massive increase in cost and consumables, for paper and consumables, which my suppliers at this point are saying, even if the tariffs go into effect, it's really just not going to really hit that heavy as what people are thinking. So unless crazy things happen, we're just not going to raise our prices. So there's where that's at. But Open World's role-playing game, like I said, we're going to do 2 manuals. And how we're going to run it, how we're going to do it is the initial release is going to be the 2 hardcover manuals, and then there's going to be a series of 3 modules are going to be available for the game. And then there's also going to be, probably within 90 days, there's going to be a campaign world setting that's released also. Anything about WizardCon or anything that you can think of, Tina?
Not WizardCon, but Wizard Tower Publishing. I mean, we touched on Pooh a
Yep.
little bit, but I know
Yep.
you've been doing some behind the scenes
Mhm.
when I'm at work. So
Yep. So basically, what we've done is we've decided, and we've talked about this before, but we have decided to formally jump into it, and that is, we are going to be putting out. We are starting a company called Wizard Tower Publishing, and what Wizard Tower Publishing is going to be designed to do is it's going to be designed to publish both books, novels, children's books that are either fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk, that type of content, or your game. Real quick, we have a couple questions. Tom from Tabletop Taproom says, Wizards hasn't been in the news lately this week, so here comes the 25% increase monetization on WotC books, and that's just the PDF hard copy books are a 30 to 40% because of the tariffs. Have they announced that, Tom? It would not surprise me. And then Thyatis says, do you plan on doing an OGL of sorts? Thyatis, we already have our own open game license. It's in our Haunted Ruins module in the back of that, and also it is in our Lost Adventures of Gary Con. But if you go to wizardtowergames.com, our OGL is actually listed there. So yeah, we have a open game license for our content. So, and it is a true open game license. We're not going to encroach people's ability to create content using, as an example, if they want to use the open world or our open worlds campaign setting and such, or if they want to use content using the task level system. So yes, there is an OGL that we have. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is after this, I will post a link to it on the Wizard Tower Games Facebook page. I'll post a link directly to the OGL so people can look at it. Now, the unique thing about Wizard Tower Publishing is it's very, very targeted. We're not going to be doing romance. We're not going to be doing erotica. We're not going to be doing, autobiographies unless it is directly related to the gaming, sci-fi, RPG, fantasy, tabletop gaming industry. So you're going to be able to go to Wizard Tower Publishing, and you're going to have a couple different options. If you are interested in saying, hey, listen, I just need some help getting and I'll pick on books. Let's say you're just like, I just need some help getting my book to a point where I can take it to my printer that I want to, I can sell it how I want to. You're going to be able to select an ability for us to be able to basically, we can lay your book out, we can design the cover for it, we can go ahead and get it edited for you, we can issue formal ISBNs under our ISBN, or we can go ahead and we can help you go ahead and show you how to get your own ISBN. No Necronomicon. Animal sacrifice, maybe, Tom, but don't know yet. Might start getting some chickens. Oh, wait, I can't get chickens. You don't like birds.
You can't get chickens.
Can't get chickens. My wife does not like anything with feathers.
Nope.
But I
Stay
can play
away.
D&D and use chickens in my game, and she doesn't have trauma from that. Think about that. So,
How about artwork for Wizard Tower Publishing?
yep. And also, you can have us do your artwork for you. So it's basically, we're going to be doing full line publishing services, no matter what your need is, from your manuscript all the way up to the point where you have print ready files, and you'll have the ability to have us print your book for you. Or like I said, we can get the book ready for you to print where you want. Same thing with certain types of games, which we're going to get into more later on as we get closer to the release of Wizard Tower Publishing in May. And that is, you're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to select the game type that we're going to be offering to publish. And we're going to be able to help you do everything from getting, if you need an ISBN, or maybe you need, instead of an ISBN, you need a UPC code. We're going to have you be able to learn how to properly get your ISBN. What happens when you finally get your ISBN? It's just not a number. It's not just a 13-digit number. You have to go in at the back end, and there's a lot of information you need to fill out, upload, to make sure that that goes throughout the Bulker database. So places like Barnes and Noble, when they pull up, Tabletop Tap Room, the novel, they'll be able to see all the information that's pertinent to the Tomonomicon, as an example. So, bingo. And so, like I said, the services that we're going to be offering are full line publishing services. Like Tina mentioned earlier, artwork. What kind of artwork do you like? We will not be doing AI artwork. We are going to be doing solid, nicely done, well done artwork in a variety of styles, book layout, book editing. We're going to be doing cover work for people. We're going to be handling, if you need the legal aspect, if you need a trademark, we have an attorney that we can get a trademark filed for you properly and legally done correct the first time. Trademarks are really touchy, because if you mess up one mark, guess what? And you filed for it, they reject it. Thank you for the new filing fee, because you got to file. So you want to make sure you do these things the right way the first time. Copyright filing, we're going to be offering little mini seminars, videos that talk about how to do certain things to help you as an author or you as a game creator to get your product not only out there, but I'm not trying to be cruel here, but one of the worst plagues out there in publishing is individuals who do not understand how to properly do a book cover to make it look appealing and have the proper information. That way, a bookstore owner, when they look at it, they don't look at it and go, oh, geez, we got ourselves a self-published author. You want them to look at it and go, holy cow, this person's very professional. They really know what they're doing. Tom from Tabletop Taproom has a question. He says, you ever have a prospective artist bring you AI art and lie about it? Tom, good question, because we talked about this earlier. I actually have. I had an artist approach me a couple weeks back, and it finally culminated the other day. His artwork did not look right to me. And I asked him, was it AI? He said, no, it was not. It was actually his own artwork. I asked him, what program do you use? He said Photoshop. So we got into a video meeting, and I was talking to him on video about his artwork. It looked, little hint, guys, if it has 7 fingers and it's human, It's probably AI. Remember that. 5 and 5, you know? So while on video, he was telling me how he uses Photoshop. Everything's great. And I was like, oh, I'd really like to see since you're wanting to be an artist for me, I would like to really see your flow, your process. Can you pull up one of your art files and let me see kind of like the layers and see how you did it? Because I really want to kind of learn your process. And he made the excuse that Photoshop crashed. It trashed all of his files. He couldn't get it. Got very defensive with me when I said, listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but this really looks like AI because why'd you have him have 7 fingers? He got very, very defensive with me. I'll just put it that way. And then he finally admitted that he does use AI. So needless to say, he's not going to work with Wizard Tower games. You know, AI is getting better and better every single day. More and more people are utilizing it. We're not. Just like AI, more and more people are embracing it and they're utilizing it. I understand that there's a thing called ethical AI. I get it. AI is a good thing for certain people. It's just not a thing for me and my wife in Wizard Tower Games, nor will it be for Wizard Tower Publishing. And, for those of you who are wondering about Wizard Tower Publishing, why am I going from game publishing to book publishing? Because they mirror. And I have a lot of practical experience in book publishing. A
Over
lot.
400 or more.
When we sold our publishing company in 2013, we had 472 um, 472 books in active publication with our company. So
Yeah.
we actually we were the Northeast United States' largest privately owned book publisher. So a lot of experience with book publishing, and I just think that because I see such a need for it. There's a lot of people that they're not looking, and we will offer traditional publishing too, where we'll take on your book. But I also know a lot of people who, they don't want a company taking over their work. They don't want them taking over their module or their novel, but they need to get help in getting their module or their novel or their game to a point where, for lack of a better word, just get me my PDFs that I need in order to go to my printer, print it my way so I can market it my way and I can sell it my way. And then you have people that are going to come and say, listen, I have a book or a game. I don't know what I'm doing. I have this idea. I've drafted it all out. I really want to see it in print. And I would like to come through Wizard Tower Games at that point. So Wizard Tower Publishing will be used to get the game ready, get the game or book up and going, and then Wizard Tower Games will go ahead and be the one that's actually physically selling it or marketing it for the person. And then we will be doing if we take on representing the book of the game, what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a percentile based off of net. And it'll be what we call, the term's called author heavy. So basically, and we'll get more into percentages when we get closer to the company release. But what author heavy means is the author gets the lion's share of the proceeds from every sale of the book. So that way, it's their book, so to speak, their game. And like I said, the subject matter has to be either tabletop game or card game for games, or if you're going to be doing a novel with Wizard Tower Publishing, it has to be either sci-fi, fantasy, steampunk, game related. If it's an autobiography, it has to involve you and the gaming industry in some way, that type of stuff. So, yeah, a lot
And
of
that,
good things.
and on the opposite side of AI, let us look at your images before you say they're ready to print,
Mm-hmm.
because I have known a few books not to be all colored, and authors saying, oh, yeah, they're all colored, all ready to go.
Yeah.
Or there's a difference between an adult artist and their abilities than somebody who cannot draw and draws like they're 5 or 6 years old, and saying,
Well,
oh, it's ready to go.
and I know Tina just sounded real cold hearted right there, but let me explain a little something
I
about
don't
this.
mean it to be mean, but
Yeah.
there's a nice professional look that we
Yes.
all want in our books.
Yeah. And when we had our publishing company, real quick, Tom wants to know any books on the new TSR Dumpster Fire on the horizon. Not by us, there won't be. But what Tina was basically getting at is when we had our publishing company, we would have authors approach us mainly with children's books.
Hmm.
And they were, they wrote a children's book and they're very proud of it. And the children's book might be very well written. But
Oh, some of them, a lot of them were
yeah, but what would happen
cute.
is, yeah, but the problem is either they would want to draw the artwork themselves because in their mind they have a vision
Hmm.
of what they want, or they would have a family member or a friend draw it for them. And they were very, very happy with the artwork. But the problem is, and again, as a publisher, you have to sometimes, your job is as a publisher is
We
to,
need
go ahead.
facilitate or guide sometimes.
Yes. And sometimes the facilitation of the project or the guidance to the author requires a level of brutal honesty that sometimes an author can take offense of. Like, we had one lady named Elizabeth. I'm just going to use her first name. And she had a series of children's books she wanted to publish. She did her own artwork. And, Tina mentions fifth grade level looking artwork. This was. And it wasn't the fact it was a badly written children's book. The artwork just was horrible. And that's just not a personal opinion. It just was. So, what we will be doing is we will help you by getting you in touch with qualified artists who can take your idea, your vision, and get them into a good presentation. Because one of the worst things that can happen is someone open up a children's book and see really horrible artwork. It's going to turn them off. Just like, with a book. I always tell people, what sells a book is the cover, because that's the first thing they see. If you're going across a book in Barnes and Noble shelf and you see a book with a horrible cover, you're probably not even going to pick that up. You're going to move on. So you want that cover to reach out and grab you and pull you in. Tom says, I had an author and a fanzine, and his art was subpar, and my layout guy did a new drawing. And when the author found out about it, he had a meltdown. Yes, and see, that's the reality of this. But as a publisher, we have an obligation to help you, like Tina said. We're facilitators. We want to facilitate the publication of your book. Now, if you are simply wanting us to take your book, it's going to be your logo, your brand, and you're not publishing through Wizard Tower Publishing or Wizard Tower Games, and you don't want to have new artwork done, then we will utilize your artwork. We're going to try to guide you and say we really highly suggest that you get some new artwork, and I'll be honest with you and tell you why. But at the end of the day, it is your book. Now, if we are publishing it and our brand is going on it, well, then in order to go, and if we're not happy with the artwork also, then we're not going to be able to publish the book unless the artwork is changed or redone. Theta says my artwork is okay. Yeah, and that's the
Same
thing.
here.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody is an artist. Just like not everybody, understands the intricacies of publishing. Publishing is not as straightforward as people think. There's a lot more to it than just taking product and putting it on a company like Drive-Thru RPG. Drive-Thru RPG offers a great service to people. But if you really want to get your skin in the game and you really want to get your book out there and you really want to see your book on bookshelves, if you really want to go into Barnes and Noble and do a book signing, and you want the ability for somebody to walk into a book retailer and say, I want, Thaddeus's book, and here's the title, and you want them to be able to enter Thaddeus's name and say, oh, here's his book, we can order that, then there's a right way of doing it, and there's a proper way of doing it. Tabletop Tap Room says, so I pulled the article since he was so upset and just decided not to publish anything by and prevent drama. And we have had to do that with our old publishing company. We have run into authors that are so intractable. We just said, listen, there's a disconnect here. We can't proceed with this project if you're not willing to take some basic guidance, because that, as a publisher, is what your job also is. And Tom said, and anyone attacking my volunteer staff at the zine is a fast track to you not being in my zine. They're all volunteers, and I'm not having drama. We learned a lot of valuable lessons with our publishing company. And I had what, women working for me, Tina? It was 9 in-house.
We had a lot.
Yeah, we had 9 women working in-house. We had 4 artists contract. We dealt with a lot of people for our company.
We had at least 6 to 7 up front.
Yeah.
At one time.
Yeah, we had 2 editors full time. Yep.
Yeah, that's not including editors, and I mean, I was in there days off and during the summer, and
Yep. And another thing about our company, and every single book that we published, we stocked in the back. We had cases of them in the back, so when sales came in, we could get them out immediately. So, it's going to be a really cool service. I think it's a service that's really needed, and it is a very, very niche service. So, I figure if we can center into games, tabletop oriented games like card games, board games, modules, that type of thing, and on the book side, novel side, we can center on those narrow subjects, then we can do a better job for our authors. And what we can do is we can provide our authors a better baseline service at the end of the day. With Two Moon, we pretty much did everything except we didn't do any erotica. We stayed away from erotica, hardcore romance, that type of thing, but everything else we published. But this is going to be different. We really want to kind of like take that wide tunnel, and we just want to kind of bring it all right down to a focal point. That way we can take better care of people. And, it's like I said, it's just a service that I think is necessary. And as an author or as a creator of games, you're going to be able to choose how far and how deep you want us to become involved. Again, you can have us, represent it, develop it, sell it for you, run with it, or we can take care of it all for you. And at the end of this, at the end of it, hand it all to you and say, here you go. And then you can go ahead and take it from there and do what you want. And again, we're going to be offering like seminars. I used to do a lot of seminars. I do live seminars where we'd have a room full of people, and I would talk about publishing and answer questions. Well, we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to be doing them on video, where you're going to be able to go to our publishing company's YouTube channel, and you're going to be able to, by chapter, take a look at the basics of publishing, marketing 101, book layout, what is an ISBN. Educate yourself, start to understand what these things are, because I was really surprised when I'd have people come into the publishing company, and we'd be talking, and I'd say, well, do you understand how an ISBN works? Oh yeah, I understand fully. And we'd start talking, and they really did not get all of it, because it's publishing is very, very complicated. It's a very, very complicated business to do it correctly. And trust me when I say this, it's a much bigger world out there than Drive-Thru-RPG. And again, I'm not hating on Drive-Thru-RPG. They offer a great service. It's a great turnkey service. But if you really want to get your product out there, and you really want to see your product in stores, out there active, your book, your novel, there's a way to do it. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to kind of help people facilitate and do. So, like I said, Wizard Tower Publishing should be premiering sometime in May, early to mid-May. So, trying to think. I think that was pretty much the big list that we wanted to take care of tonight.
Yep, I looked at your list. I kind of checked things off. I did not see anything else on
Yep.
there.
I mean, anyone have any questions or anything? I'm trying to think what else we got going. Like I said, WizardCon is coming up
Yep.
April 25th, 26th, and 27th.
I'm
Um,
sure there'll be weekly updates on WizardCon.
yep,
You
where
know,
we just
check
did an
out the
update.
Facebook page,
Yep. Oh,
website.
real quick, the game shop that is going to be doing the Lorcana tournaments, Magic the Gathering One Piece, is called CCG Prime. Daniel is the owner of it. Great guy, real knowledgeable about games and especially Magic and One Piece and Lorcana. He's going to be running the tournaments there. We're going to be oh geez, there's D&D, there's board games out there, there's Vampire the Masquerade, there's DCC, there's MCC now being signed up. Um, we've got Darlene the artist is going to be there. We've got Gaxland Games. Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland are going to be there. They're going to be running their games. Like I said, they donated product for the auction. We're going to be donating product to EggCon for them for their auction and for their convention. Wizard Tower Games is going to be doing. In fact, I got to get that sent out yet this week. So my secretary down below, if you remind me, please, because I'll probably forget it. But
I'll
um,
remind you.
yeah, you remind me. But basically, we've got Joe Block, the Greyhawk Grognard. He's going to be there running games. We got Rob Conley from Bat in the Attic Games. He's going to be there probably running games. He's going to be there probably running games. In fact, I bet she's going to be. We have got Chris Clark from Inner City Games. He's got a ton of stuff signed up. He's going to be running games and he's going to be giving product for the auction and the raffles. Tim Cass, Jim Wampler from Mud Puppy Games, the guy who created Marvin the Mage, one of my favorite comic books, is going to be there. We've got Jeff D. We've got Mark Hunt with Gangbusters. We've got Stephen Lake, who's the author of the Earth Fleet series, and who else?
Merle.
Yeah,
Did you get
Merle
Merle?
Rasmussen. How can I forget Merle? Top Secret. He's going to be sitting there, of course, tuxedo, doing what? Running Top Secret. So it's our first year with WizardCon, but we got a lot of cool stuff happening and a lot of things are coming together now for us. In fact, we just had I can't mention his name yet. He reached out to me 2 days ago. He worked on the Star Wars RPG and the Star Trek, and he's
Oh, that's
coming.
right.
Yeah, he's going to be coming most likely to WizardCon. We're talking right now about it, and he's going to be running Star Wars RPG. Oh, he also worked on Lord of the Rings, the collectible card game. So, we're starting to get traction. People are starting to notice who we are. One of the local large event, Kalamazoo, is it Kalamazoo events? It's called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
they have now picked us up and they are showcasing our convention on their site and business. Um, so that's happening. We have had a couple of local news stations now reaching out to us. We're going to have news stations there doing stories on us on the convention. So a lot of really cool things are happening with WizardCon. And we're already in talks with the hotel in the complex about 2026.
mhm.
This is not just a one-time thing with us. WizardCon is going to happen every single year. So one day you'll see me running around in my wheelchair with a long gray beard, bald as hell on the top, with my cane going, buy tickets, buy badges. Not for several years though. Hopefully I.
No, 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 not for several years. But we really want everybody to just leave, even though it's our first con, just leave and realize, oh, it was fun. No matter,
Yeah.
what happens, we want number one is to have fun and enjoy.
Yep. I was talking to Tim Kask on the phone the other day, and like Tim said, Tim goes, at the end of the day, what you want people to do is you want people to walk away and go, that was a real fun convention for it being their first year. Because the only thing that can happen is you can become better. What we're going to do is, we're going to, we know there's going to be little glitches here and there. We'll deal with them best we can. But what we're going to do is at the end of WizardCon 1, we're going to take a look at it and go, okay, we all had a great time. Now, what can we do better next time? What can we change to make better next time? And we're going to grow every year. And we're not only going to hopefully grow with attendance. What we're going to do is we're going to grow as a convention. We're going to grow by learning what we can do better, what we can improve upon, and what we can add. Maybe something we could say we don't want to do it this next year. It didn't really work well. Maybe something worked really, really well, and we want to kind of maybe do something a little bit better with it. So time will tell. But Greg Gorin, he is a author who has created a module called the I can't pronounce the name of it. Bad me. I'm not dwarf. Okay, I don't speak Dwarven.
Oh, come
But
on. You need to add that to a language of
yeah.
yours.
So basically, he sets up these massive play areas, and they're kind of like a 3D dungeon, 3D experience, and he's going to be there set up doing that. We've got Circus Maximus or Circus Primus, I believe, old school game, but that's going to be, like I said, a lot of cool stuff's happening. And you can go to wizardcon.org, or you can go to tabletop events, type in WizardCon, one word, WIZARDCON, and then 2025. So WizardCon, one word, 2025 will come up, and you can buy badges. You can sit there and get your badge, sign up for games. Every day now we're getting people submitting games, and we're having to go in and approve them and schedule them. Other than that, if you're watching this, you haven't done already, please hit that subscribe button, help us out. It helps us grow our channel. And I think we're pretty much done. It's been an hour, and we have had a lot of stuff to talk about. So if anybody doesn't have anything else, I'm Don. Down below is my wife, Tina. And
Hello.
what we're going to
Almost
do is,
good night.
what's that?
I said almost good night for this one that has to be in nice
Oh,
and bright
that's right.
and
You
early.
got to be early tomorrow. You got meetings tomorrow morning, don't you?
I do. Meetings before the kids arrive.
Yeah, that's all right. I was up at what, 4 this morning, so
Yeah.
I had coffee. I was good. So everybody tuning in the video tonight, thank you very much. I hope everybody, you're welcome, Titus. I hope everybody got a little bit of information from us. You're going to see the WizardCon Facebook page getting busy now. You're going to also see the website changing a little bit because we're going to be adding the celebrity panels too. So we're going to be doing informational panels there too. And then also Wizard Tower Games, we're going to be doing some more information on games coming out. We're going to start showing more deep back end, like as example, page samples of Interstellar, page samples of open worlds, that type of thing. So, it's really going to get busy here. So, Tom, good night. Everybody else, good night.
Yep.
Hope you all have a good night. Enjoy
Thursday
night.
evening.
Yep. Vlog of many things. We're going to be talking about update on paper futures. We're going to be talking about publishing. We're going to talk about the intricacies of it, and plus probably a little bit more because there's been some stupidity by Wizards of the Coast. Imagine that. Surprise. So, everybody,
like and subscribe to the vlog of many things too. Both
yes,
channels.
please do. Like I said, we're trying to grow the channels, and if you hit a like and subscribe, you help us out. It's the YouTube algorithm. So, I am Don.
And I'm Tina.
And this is Wizard Tower Games signing off. Hope everybody has a good night, and we'll see you guys next week. Good night.
See you next week.